Batman shirts all the time. They're not just characters people love. They mean something. What they do represents something to people.
I'm a big fan of Batman. I started out with Detective Comics. Batman doesn't have any superpowers, so I find him relatable.
As a little kid, I looked at comics in a sort of very black and white way. I liked the idea of just superheroes and superpowers in the plain little kid fantasy way. The first time I looked at them in an allegorical way or in a more complicated way, in a way that they could tell more complicated stories that could reflect stories of our own, was when I looked at Batman. In particular, the Frank Miller treatment of Batman, that was something that I thought was really complicated and grown up.
Batman specifically is sort of the dark, brooding version of reluctant superhero. And in fact, not even a superhero, just a hero. He's just a guy who has worked very hard and through his own physical prowess and, more importantly, his cleverness and design of all the props and gags and gadgets that he invents and gets to use, has made himself into a character who is on par with the superheroes who do have extra human capabilities.
What are your superpowers again?
I'm rich.
I think a lot of fans at some point in their reading career go, why is Batman part of this team? When you talk about taking on these intergalactic threats, they all have amazing powers, and Batman's like looking for a place to throw his grappling hook around so he can fly up to join in the party. Then you realize, oh, he's there because he's the most brilliant strategist in the group, and he's thought of every contingency.
I think Batman in particular has stayed really relevant and resonant because he is, on the one hand, like a superhero, and on the other hand, just like us. He feels vulnerable. He bleeds if you cut him. He is a real person on the inside, and yet he is super. And so there's all kinds of contradictions inherent in that make for really interesting storytelling.
You know you can't do this forever.
I can barely do it now. Steppenwolf, this is the job.
When he started his journey, he thought he figured everything out, which he didn't. And then obviously Superman died, and he felt such a huge guilt for it, and I think it haunted him in his dreams.
There's always a casualty of war. Superman makes an extremely noble act, so he's the inspiration to both Batman and Diana, and therefore he's our inspiration. The reason they go on this journey is to make sure the Earth that he was trying to protect stays that way.
I'm gonna take out that tower, knock down that shield dome. Don't wait for me, just do the job.
In this movie, you see Batman starts to work in a group, cares for people. It becomes softer and softer, and I think that he understands that he can't do this by himself.
It's fun to watch Bruce with this new attitude, work collaboratively, and someone that's been working alone and isolated from others in so many ways in his vigilantism have to be part of a team.
But it's good to see you playing well with others. Just like a bat. I dig it. Maybe temporary.
I would say that he is the first person to be truly inspired by Superman, and he's continuing the legacy of Superman with bringing together the Justice League. He truly is the voice, he truly is the founder and team leader of the Justice League.
I don't recognize this world. I don't have to recognize it. I just have to save it.